In this week's episode of Did Y'all See, we're talking about who's to blame for Harambe the gorilla's death, whether or not you do a background on a potential suitor, and a game of who'd you rather between Future and Russell Wilson. Get into all this tea on Did Y'all See. Welcome to another episode of Did Y'all See? Ladies, are you ready to get into it?
Yes.
Alrighty. So first up, we're talking about Miss Tamar Braxton again. Now, we all know about the firing, but there's some new information coming out because she was on the Steve Harvey Morning Show this morning. And she said that she learned of her firing because Vince called the producers to ask about travel arrangements for the Essence Festival that's coming up. And they said, oh, we've been meaning to talk to you about that. We're not inviting her back for the next season. So that's how she allegedly learned about the firing. That's what she said to Steve Harvey. So what do you guys think about? Then, not only that, there was someone who posted a meme, and it's like something about when you're in a room full of shady bitches, you have to distance yourself. And it's all her co-hosts in one area, and then Tamar is kind of sitting far off in the background. I don't know if it's photoshopped or not, but the caption is what it's about. And interestingly enough, Tamar responded like pretty much, and then did the nail painting emojis. So what do you guys think about the whole situation?
I think it's very odd that she would comment under that type of meme when it seems like the producers of The Real were the shady ones. So how did if they're the ones like, oh, actually we have something to talk to you about you going to the Essence Fest. Your coworkers have nothing to do with your travel arrangements, so I don't understand why she's blacking on everyone. And again, it just goes to show you that however many people act with their family, that's probably how they're going to act with their coworkers, their partners, whoever.
I think, to be blunt, I've been fired in a situation where I felt like it was very shady. I feel like my coworkers knew it was coming, and I feel like they tried to get out of Dodge so that they wouldn't have to look me in the face because the way stuff went down was so shady. And you are very frustrated and you're very aggravated and you feel betrayed, but you handle those emotions like an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way that she's like lashing out is, I'm concerned for her future, because when people see you react like that, they don't really want to work with you. Right. Inside you want to lash out, but you gotta put up a good face to advance your career.
Yeah, but I think when you're spoiled in life, I think that you don't see the importance in trying to be doing about face and be an adult about things. You just kind of feel like, well, no, I'm gonna rant and I'm gonna get my way anyway because my man does this and my family is this and I'm this. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it's ridiculous. And to me, I feel like her behavior, I think when you get fired, I think you have the right to feel how you want to feel and do what you want to do. That's fine. But I just think she just has her opinion, blue, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, getyourlife.com, and just moves on. And it's just kind of like she never sees the error in situations, the part that she played, and tries to do better.
To me, I'm so disappointed in it because I feel like it's so much bigger than her. This was a show full of diverse women from different backgrounds and different ethnicities, and y'all said that y'all were sisters, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I think one of the best things about the show was that it was so diverse and they had such a good rapport with one another. And for you to be fired by someone who's not at that table and then to come out and then turn it like that is just so negative for not just you and your relationship with them, but just for women of color in general. We are always stereotyped as being negative and catty and backbiting, and we can't get along with other women, can't get along with other women. So for you to come out like this, it's just it just sends a terrible message. So y'all know we got to talk about Harambe. This is the gorilla who was murdered in the Cincinnati Zoo after a 4-year-old fell into his enclosure. And video showed him dragging the boy at one point, and so it was really just a decision about protect the child or protect the gorilla. So that's the Cincinnati Zoo decided to kill the gorilla and save the child. So the child came out with a few scrapes and bruises and a concussion, but otherwise fine. So the whole thing has sparked a huge debate about parenting, animal rights, whether we need to like question our zoos. I mean, everything, and even race has come into it because people are trying to investigate the parents' backgrounds, like, oh, the father used to do this and used to do that, et cetera, and like, should they even be allowed to take care of their child? So the whole story is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I wanted to know what you guys think about it. What are your initial impressions? Maybe have you evolved? What do you guys think about the whole story?
Well, first of all, I feel conflicted about zoos and circuses and things like that. Cause it makes me really sad. I don't feel like certain animals should be there at all.
Right.
So that's my first issue with it. Initially, I didn't see the whole story, and I didn't see the video of Harambe like dragging that kid. That was scary as hell.
It was.
And I love animals, like for real, y'all know that. But if it comes down to a child and the gorilla, obviously the gorilla had to go. Now, I don't know why. I don't feel that she should have been investigated, but I don't know why she wasn't really like watching this kid, because according to witnesses who were there, he didn't just jump down there and it was like a 1, 2, 3 process. Like they said he was like trying for a minute. He told her repeatedly like, I'm going down in the gorilla pit. Like, yo, you gotta like, you have to watch these kids like a hawk, because they be wilding out.
Okay, so I understand the mom, we need to check her out. However, people love to bystand. I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, was there anyone else that could have, like, when I see little kids, like, exactly, you see them running in the street, you're like, oh no.
Your mom will be mad at me later.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? So, what was going on with the other people, the eyewitnesses? What were y'all doing? You know, exactly. Okay. 2, I love animals too. However, I'm a little tired, and this seems like it's going to be a trend every year. First it was, I forgot his name, the lion that passed away last year. Cecil. Now it's, what's his name? Harambe. And it's like, we're giving so much attention to these animals, but we didn't give any attention to Jordan Davis, to Trayvon Martin, to Michael Brown. The list is endless, you know?
This wouldn't have happened if these animals weren't in this situation. And really, Harambe just did what Harambe would have done if a little monkey would have fallen out of a tree in whatever country, whatever he would be. And, you know, it is sad, because I think, you know, we get scared, we get frightened or whatever when animals do what they do.
Right.
But that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're not supposed to be here doing it. So, you know, therein lies one problem. The mother, I do feel like, what was happening, you know, where were you in that situation, you know, whatever. Because, I mean, usually those things are pretty, you know, it does take some work. It looks like often for a child to climb over or to get under something in the zoo and try to get into an enclosed, you know, enclosure or whatever. But at the same time, I'm not a parent. Right. I don't know what it's like, especially if you have multiple children, or you go somewhere with multiple children and you have to watch them. So I can't, you know, I just think she probably could have handled things a little better, but I'm not going to put, you know, be like, damn her or something like that.
Right, exactly. To me, I always feel conflicted going to zoos, because I mean, I like to see the birds and I like to see the like little animals, but then you see like the bigger animals, like the apes and the gorillas and the chimps, and it's just like, dang, like, there's not enough room here. It's like small. They got these people staring at them all the time.
Out here like ready to cry.
It's sad. It's very sad. And I love a zoo, but it's really sad when you think about it. Like, and it's cold. The climate is not right. I mean, Cincinnati gets cold. But my thing is, when I first heard the story, I was like really sad, because I was like, and angry actually, because I was like, why couldn't they just tranquilize it? But then, you know, this woman who used to work with gorillas came through, and she was like, well, you know, if he didn't go out immediately, he could have caused more harm to the child, you know, like he would have been stunned. And so I'm like, okay, dang, that makes sense. Like, they just had to do it. It just sucks, though. And I feel like even the zoo is partially responsible, because I don't know. I've been to a lot of zoos, but I feel like most of the gorillas are like completely enclosed. Like, there is no way that a child should be able to get into that, because I mean, that's who comes to your facility, children. And children are always going to be curious. Their exposure to animals is like cartoons, so they don't even have the knowledge that an animal would harm them. So that needs to be completely, there should be no way that a 4-year-old is able to slip into a gorilla habitat. So, guys, we have a stumper for this week's Who Do You Rather. We're asking, between Russell Wilson and Future, who do you rather have sex with?
Future. Why is this a question?
Oh, okay.
This is the Trap King. Like, seriously.
Well, I would pick neither if that was an option. But since having sex could result in having a child, and I would pray to God that I would never have a child with somebody like Future, then I would have to say Russell. So, yeah.
I would, if I could, I would also pick neither. They're not that sexually attractive to me. But if I had to pick anybody, maybe I'll go with Russell. Football players have really nice bodies, and maybe underneath, you know, the cornball vibe I get from him, he could be. He seems like on point, right? You know, and he seemed like he would be like, Madame, right? I'd take your hand tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so rose petal. Okay. Future would just try to lure you in with some lean, like you.
You are so sick. Yeah. I feel like I'm judging myself, but I have to go with Future. Yeah, I mean, I can't really help it. Russell does absolutely nothing for me, and I don't mean he's unattractive, but I just see him and he just seems like a really nice person, and that's just all I get from him. But Future, he is the absolute worst. So I feel like he would have to wear a condom. I would have to be on birth control, and I'm taking Plan B the next morning because I cannot have his child because he's the absolute worst. But I feel like his body is amazing. His smile is amazing. I'm trying to play in his hair. Like I think he's so beautiful. So that's our take. Let us know who you'd rather in the comment section below, Russell Wilson or Future. So for this week's What Would You Do, we're talking about Tasha Smith. So Jasmine, you wrote the story. I'll just throw it to you. Go ahead.
So Tasha Smith basically said that career women should definitely do background checks on any potential partners. If you want to kiss him, she said you better do a background check. She said she got some good private investigators, and you need to find out because obviously Tasha went through her situation where her man was real fraudulent. How many marriages was it?
I don't know, a bigamist.
A lot of kids. It was a mess, and thankfully she had an annulment, so it was a miracle. But she said that basically career women need to protect themselves. I don't know if you need a private investigator, but y'all know I believe in a good Google search, a thorough Google search. Don't stop at page 2. Go to page 10 and see what you find because you never know. Check the images too. So I guess what would you do? Would you do a background check on your potential partner? I already obviously say how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you need everyone don't have private investigator money.
Right.
But a Google can be very helpful and very worthwhile. I feel like, I don't know, I was always like really paranoid about somebody being married on the low. So I definitely believe in Googling.
I mean, me myself, I have never done any kind of real search on people. I think intuition kind of tells you a lot in general. Like, you know when you feel something is off with somebody. But in this day and age, I mean, hell, that's what all this is here for. And you need information. This is the information highway. So yeah, I think it's good, especially if you have as much money as she or anybody else has. Like, you know you have assets out here. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna look you up. But as a broke person, I could do a quick Google or like Facebook, Instagram search, but I just feel like your intuition will let you know when something is off.
So let us know what you would do. Do you believe in investigating your partner before you get to know them too well? Let us know in the comment section below. Why or why not? Thank you for watching this episode of Did Y'all See? For more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire. Hey y'all, thank you for watching and supporting us every single week. For more Did Y'all See? Click here. For celebrity interviews, here. And for our comedic series Relationship Hacks, click here. And as always, be sure to subscribe.